back to a new vlog. Unfortunately, my little honey bun is not feeling very well today. He's got quite the sniffle. He's been up during the night and yeah, he's not having a good day, bless his heart. So we are at home just now, and although it's not my most favourite thing to do, I am just waiting on my Tesco whoosh delivery coming because, well, I wanted to get something for him to have for lunch. He's been up since 5-ish, give or take. So today might not be all that fun, but we're gonna, push through it. For myself, I am going to be having some sushi. It's just what I'm fancying right now. I consider it to not be a processed food. It's gonna have like added things into it, obviously, but the vegan sushi is probably one of the cleaner things that I could eat from their little what's it called, the meal deal range. So I'm having that. I've got some other things coming as well. Probably going to be having some veggie type kind of dinner. I'm not exactly certain what I want. Obviously, as it's still really early in the morning, it's looking like a not bad day. So I'm a little bit sad because if Jagger was well enough to go to school, we would have gone to town and got some coffee. But again, instead of doing that, I have ordered some Verona from Amazon, which should be here tomorrow. Fingers crossed, I do have enough to last me at least a couple of days. But when the coffee starts getting low, Lucy starts getting really anxious. So yeah, that's pretty much what is happening right now. I'm not going to state any specific plans for what I'm going to be doing for today. My step count isn't looking too bad. I'm over 2,000 steps and it's just past 9 in the morning. So that's something for me to write down in my jotter, which I'll go over the past, couple to few days that I have missed. And whilst I am a firm advocate for not being too hard on yourself, there have definitely been days this week where it's really gotten to me, and I've just kind of noped out, at least mentally. Although I've stayed on track, I've noped out mentally, and it makes me feel so sad because I feel like I am putting in effort, but at the same time I'm not pushing myself enough. But we still have 3 days of this week to go, so there is gonna be time for me to rev myself up a little bit, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I can only try, and I really am trying, but it's really hard and difficult when one half of you is like, yeah, we're doing good, and the other half is like, we're not doing good enough. We could be doing more. It puts you in a really weird headspace because I feel like I'm fighting with myself. The lazy side of me who doesn't really want to do all that much. And then the other side of me who's like, we're not doing enough. We could be doing much, much better. So my sushi finally arrived. It can be kind of hit and miss with Tesco's. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. Usually if I order it and like only one comes and Regina's here, I'll just let her have it. But I did get what I wanted today. I've already put the wasabi and the ginger on. I know that you're not supposed to eat it that way, but that's how I like to eat it. I've got these tofu, like they're kind of like little rice packets at the back. And I'm just going to be tucking straight into this because I am so hungry. It's nearly 11 o'clock now, so I really need to eat something before I start getting hungry. It is lunchtime and I'm starting to feel quite hungry again. So I'm going to be having something else to eat. I'm going to be having a salad, a whole bell pepper, obviously sliced. I'm not going to sit here and eat it like an apple. And some mackerel. I'm having 2 pieces of that. I feel really ravenously hungry right now. I don't know if it's just because I'm just like, heck it. Once I've eaten the peppers, I'm going to be popping on a little bit of this just to keep it interesting, jazz it up a bit, as they say. I need to learn how to caramelize the soy sauce on things because I really like that. And just having that sweet and kind of salty crispness to my fish. I'm definitely there for it. If you're wondering why I haven't shown the fish, that's because I already ate it. I'm so distracted by this YouTube video I've been watching about a strange disappearance in the Russian mountains. I just completely forgot I was supposed to be vlogging my food. Again. I need to be drinking more. I know that much. That might be why I'm hungry. You can see how little of that I have drank since I made it. Before 9 o'clock this morning, so that's ridiculous. I do, however, have this, and I've been drinking coffee, but it's not the same. I need to be drinking more water. It is the following day, and so far I haven't been doing very good. Actually, yesterday, after, I stopped vlogging, I came to a really dark place, and I just was not in the mood to vlog. I didn't feel great, not like I had something wrong with me or whatnot, but it was totally me getting into my own head. And I didn't drink even anywhere close to what I should have been drinking yesterday. I haven't been drinking all that much today, so that's kind of a bad sign in and of itself. But today is new. I'm gonna try and pick myself up off of the floor. So far today I have been up since just after 5. I think it was like 5 after 5 or something silly like that. I have had 4 bananas since then, a whole jar of pickles. My nails are coming off, so got ugly hands now. Sucks for me. But for my first meal, I'm thinking that I want to do pancakes again. Last time when I did them using just 3 eggs, I managed to get I think it was like 5 or 6 pancakes out of the mix, so I'm probably gonna do that again. I'm currently in the process of heating up a croissant for Regina, and the weekend looks like it's going to be an absolute washout. We were planning, well, I say planning, but it was kind of impromptu. We were going to go to town because Andrew's prescription somehow ended up being sent to Boots, and that's not usually where he gets his prescriptions from. So he's had to go out by himself to pick that up, but the reason we haven't all gone is because it's just an absolute washout of a day. I think it's probably going to be wet and dreary all day, so yeah, it's going to be, surprise surprise, another stay in kind of weekend. Cal surprise. But let me go and start getting the pancakes ready. I have got a ton of stuff to do, so I don't really have too much time to lollygag around. In other news, I think, I'm not exactly sure because I do need to check, and it looks like there is still some left in it, but I think it's almost time for me to change my cartridge that is in my wild stick that I've had for a couple of weeks. So if that is the case and it's coming to an end, that's kind of surprised me a little bit. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a little bit more use out of the, oh my gosh, I can't remember what it was called. Was it the ocean one? Something to do with oceans. Something to do with oceans. Deodorant stick cartridge, however you like to refer to it. Oh my golly. It's gonna be one of those days again. So we don't usually get a Tesco delivery on a Saturday. It's usually a Thursday and the occasional odd Monday. But check these out, because I was in stitches the second that I saw these. As you probably might know, I do tend to go through a lot of bananas. These are the bananas that they sent. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Just these 3, nothing else, no other substitutes, just these bananas that are almost, well, practically the length of my actual face. Love that for me. So today for dinner I am going to be having some rice with mushrooms. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world. I really did enjoy my pancakes, they were great. But I am fancying quite a lot right now. I need something crunchy. I have already had some popcorn with Regina. It's this proper popcorn that you just pop in the microwave. I'm considering that to be a non-processed food because it's something that I'm literally making at home, and I really do need to have something with a little bit of crunch, as we know with the salad topper business. So I am basically gonna see how I feel after I've eaten. I've still not drank even close to nearly enough today, which is a little bit disappointing. You know, I'm disappointed in myself with not following through with that. I have been drinking, but it's mostly been the little bottles of sparkling water, and I don't know, I think there's just a lot of things that are that are getting to me, which I do want to touch on, but I don't want to touch on in front of the kids. I'd rather them, be a little bit deaf to some other things that I feel like are really contributing to how I'm feeling right now. Okay, so I really just wanted to come on and touch upon some of the things that I was saying earlier, specifically about how I've been feeling. As you can probably tell, I'm a lot calmer right now, and that is because usually when I'm about to eat, I get just like a little bit frenzied because I'm so super excited about eating. But I haven't eaten anything outside what I showed for my dinner. I thought I was in cracking phase. We are on day 20 of my 33-day challenge, and it's it's going a little bit rough right now. So I am feeling highly tempted, not at all motivated. I'm fully I was fully intending to have some Monster Munch. I was maybe going to have some noodles and maybe a brioche, and I'll put some chocolate spread in that too. I was going through my head all the things that I wanted to eat, but didn't actually end up eating any of them. So that's something for me to be proud of. I think I'm going to make it through another day. But back to the point on what I was wanting to touch on more in detail, more in depth, is it goes beyond just what I've been eating. I don't feel happy to show what I'm eating because it's the same thing all the time, and I like the idea of keeping things interesting and new and fun, and maybe I'm having this one day and this another day, but I literally have, my dinners and my lunches usually preset out in my mind of what I'm going to be having that day. There might be like some added things, some subtracted, but ultimately I do know what I'm going to be eating on the whole, usually 9 times out of 10. But something happened yesterday that I didn't talk about yesterday because I only really sort of thought about it this afternoon. So it's nothing bad, but it does touch upon some like very lightly presses into what I would consider a unhealthy mindset. Sorry, not healthy, unhealthy mindset. So yesterday, Regina and I were walking home from school. Obviously, Jagger wasn't at school yesterday because, bless his little heart, he was unwell, and he's still unwell today. Sounds like he's got a cough coming on again. So that's not great. But anyway, Regina and I were on our way home from school, and a very attractive 20-something lady was walking towards us as we were walking down the street, and she wasn't overly thin. It was perfect for her frame. But it really just, I suddenly felt like I didn't want to eat anything. It was a triggering moment, and I knew that it was bad the very second that I saw her, the very second that I had these thoughts coming into my head. Highly, highly unhealthy. And that is the reason why I only ended up having a banana yesterday after coming back from school. I don't like talking about these kind of things, but in my defense, I can also say positively that this is the first time that something like this has happened in a long time. And I think that part of the reasoning why I didn't have anything to eat yesterday afternoon was because I had gotten into my own head that I wanted to have the same frame as this very attractive, lovely looking woman in her early 20s, which I hope doesn't sound super sad, like in a bad way, but it really does touch upon some difficult things that can happen when you're dieting, making lifestyle changes, because there's always an element of comparing yourself to someone. I mean, you can compare yourself to someone whether you are on a diet or having lifestyle changes happen for yourself, hopefully for the better. And I almost went into, okay, so we're going to jump into a fast. Okay, we're not really eating all that much right now as is, but we're going to do a fast. And if you haven't seen any of the lead ups to when I do fast, I always make sure that I eat something super heavy the evening before that I'm deciding to go on this fast, just to keep me going over whatever period of time that I decide to do the fast. And yeah, there was some really horrible thoughts that came up, because I wasn't thinking of setting a time limit for myself. It was just, okay, we're gonna do a fast until we look like that. But obviously I woke up after sleeping on it, coming round to my gosh darn senses, and decided that no, it's probably not a good idea to do a fast. So the better side of me is winning, clearly. But sometimes, yeah, these dark little things can pop up, either through being triggered or just you winding yourself up sometimes, I would say. I guess really what I'm trying to convey is that it's not all happiness and rainbows and roses. when you're trying to do something good for yourself, you really do have to power through some of those darker elements that can sometimes happen. I hope that what I have just said has been, not offensive at all, because I really don't want that. I really just wanted to say how your mind can be an absolute bugger sometimes. So it is a new day. It's a Sunday, so it was supposed to be a quiet one, but I was just at Sainsbury's, picking up some nice things for me to eat. Hello, Raj. I've already had one of these, but I'm gonna have this other pack of wasabi peas. So like I was saying, I was just at Sainsbury's, and then Andrew called me saying that the kids' grandmother wanted to come and pick them up and whisk them away to go and spend some of her money at a car boot sale. So she's on her way up just now. I've been absolutely dying to vlog, but I just haven't had time. Yeah, it's 10:15 now, so
that's at least 15 minutes until she comes.
I need to be eating some stuff. So I did have one of these just because I'm in such a rush. I'm gonna eat that one as well. And I'm in the process of drinking, one of these cocoa beaters. I'm trying to talk so fast I can't even keep up with myself right now. So what are you going to be looking for when you're at the car boot sale, Raj?
Probably dollies. And
Dollies,
toys
Lala
that I'll be interested in.
Monster High, the usual crew.
I'm not really into... See, I would look for Shadow High, but I'm not really... I kind of went off of Shadow High now. I'm kind of over Lala Lipsy Girly.
Okay. Lala Lipsy Girly.
I was also planning on selling them, but I realised that there might be no point.
Why?
Because I mean, they just take up so much room in my tiny room. Like the back, they take the back shelf, and every time that I open up my vinyl player, they always fall down.
Okay.
And I still
do you want me to sell them for you?
I don't know. I still need to think about it.
Alright, well, there's no rush. It's whatever.
Because I'd rather spend the money on something that I'm actually interested in, not something that I'm no longer interested in.
Her bedroom is really small, as you guys have probably seen. So I understand if she wants to slim down her dolly collection and make room for other dollies to take place. Take the place of those dolls.
I still have those knockoff fairy dolls that we bought at Pound underneath my bed because I don't know where to put them. I still have them underneath my bed.
Knockoff fairy dolls.
Remember the knockoffs that we bought?
Yeah, I remember. So yeah, it might actually end up being a little bit more quiet than intended.
I'm honestly not that hyped about it. I'm honestly not that hyped about it, to be fair. What?
She's not that hyped about it, but
it's a late because I wanted
to play DVD. Me to ask me about it because she was excited at the time.
No, I rang you to ask if I can get any data so I can listen to Melanie, not hear her yap.
You were excitable, lady. Don't mess with me.
No, because the only reason I phoned you was to ask if I can get some data so I can listen to Melanie, not hear her yap all the time. She yaps about the most.
I have been fancying these. Like literally no one's business. I used to buy the big packs of them at M&S, and I don't know if Marks and Spencer still do them or not, but every time I go into our local food hall, they never have them. So I was super stoked to see these at Sainsbury's. They are quite high in calorie, but I'm just craving the crunch. The little spicy kick that they give. I don't really know what I fancy to eat in, the bigger spectrum of things right now. I might have a salad or something. I'm hungry, but I don't know what I want. So that is my kitty winks out with their grandmother. Hopefully there'll be a little haul to see when they get back. I just downed 2 of these. these are good. They're quite high in calorie. It's 110 per pack, but it is literally just strawberries. You can see it does have some apple concentrate there, but I'm gonna make enough to for myself to try and keep myself good and on track and still doing well. So I'm about to open up these bad boys. They are just plain nuts. Probably gonna have a handful or so of these. I'm telling myself that I want the salad, but I just can't go through with it. Cannot do it. This has almonds, walnuts, cashew nuts, and Brazils. As we all know, nuts are very high in calorie. But maybe after having some of these, I'll feel good and satisfied for at least a little while. That's my kids' pack already, believe it or not. They had a nice time with their grandmother. Regina picked up some plushies for herself. Jagger decided to save his money, as he usually does. He's so good with money, it's unreal. I wish I had had the same willpower, let's say. But yeah, he's now playing his, is it Crew Fest, honey?
It's called the Crew 2.
Crew 2 game. I literally just only had time to have something to eat. I actually did end up having a salad shortly after having my nuts. This is approximately what's left of the bag. As you know, I don't weigh anything out. I probably should, just to keep it in a portion size. It's probably more like half the bag than a handful. Let's be honest. But who has time to portion everything out? For my lunch, it was actually really good. So I had the salad, and then on top of that I had chopped gherkins, and I put some baba sauce on top with some, I was gonna say onion rings on the side, but no. Unfortunately not. Very soon I'm gonna be having some of those. Pickled onions is what I meant, and I actually grated some cheese on top of it, and it was just amazing. It's truly bizarre how just adding a little bit of a sauce moment, a little bit of cheese on the top makes all the difference, and I feel in such a good mood just because of that fact alone. It's now evening time for me and time to get settled in and whatnot, but I've had a little bit of a rough afternoon. I don't really know why, but I have been having tummy issues again. It's making me quite nervous because I haven't had anything in the way of plums today because I've cut them out, and since I had cut them out, I was doing great. I wasn't having any of what I was experiencing before. And then I think the mistake that was made on my part is having the fruit, the dried fruit strawberry pieces. It's the only thing that's really making sense to me. It's definitely not being helpful in terms of me doing things. I should have worked out earlier in the day, probably whilst the kids were away, but honestly I was having such such a nice time just chilling and watching YouTube. I thought, nah, it's okay, I'll wait until they get back. I didn't want Andrew's mum to see me all nasty and sweaty. It's pretty much what it came down to, but yeah, mistakes were clearly made on that front. I ended up having just pancakes for dinner. I made myself just regular pancakes and ended up having probably around 5, maybe 6 of them. No regrets on that front. I'd been feeling really awful. So I wanted to eat something that was going to be nice, quick, and not too much of a big fuss, because I think the little hob unit that we are currently using might be on the way out. So I'm probably going to have a search for that, for a new one, that is what I mean. Regina's earbuds, they're exactly like this but black. I think they're JLab ones. They've stopped working apparently, although she has said that they've stopped working before, and it just turns out that she didn't put them quite right into the little charging thingamajigger. So I'm going to check that out for myself. She's got a spare pair of mine just now. But yeah, I need to check that and obviously get her some, because she does like to listen to music a lot. And that is pretty much the synopsis of my day. Done, I guess. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found something of enjoyment during this vlog. And I hope to see you again very, very soon.